Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to episode 8 of the Turning Two podcast. Okay, I want to welcome Hillel from Backstage Baseball here, and we're going to be we're going to be recapping the NLDS today. Once the ALDS is over, we'll recap that as well, so that everybody's up to speed on everything. So, and once the ALCS NLCS is over, we'll recap that, and we'll also recap the World Series. So, for baseball fans, you're excited. This is a great time to be watching the videos on the channel. So, and if you haven't subscribed to 161 Rev or Backstage Baseball, please do so. It's greatly appreciated by both of us, but we want to make sure that you continue to enjoy great content on a regular basis. And we will be busy all off season. Okay, it's not like we're going to take a 2-month break. Free agency starts the day after the World Series. So, and it doesn't stop. So, it's a lot of good stuff coming. But hello, I want to thank you for coming on, and I appreciate you. And let's have some fun.
Yeah, of course. As always, episode 8. That sounds nice. So we'll get to the double digits hopefully right before the World Series, and then we'll have some fun when we get to the off season. A lot of content coming out. How are we feeling after this NLDS?
I it's funny. I mentioned maybe a week ago that I thought the Phillies were going to become kind of a red hot team. They were kind of ice cold the last 2 weeks of the season, and then they just kind of turned it on. And there's always a team. It's not always the best team that wins the World Series. It could be the hottest team that wins the World Series. Last year, the Braves got hot and they ran the table on everybody. Right. This year, the Phillies and even the Padres. I mean, the Padres eliminated the number 1 and number 2 payrolls. They were both projected to be the World Series favorites this year. Padres eliminated both of them. So this is a pleasant surprise. Phillies versus the Padres in the NLCS. It's not going to get much better than that, at least in my opinion. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so personally, I'm feeling kind of disgusting today because we're recording this the day after the Yankees got just like a punch right in their gut. It was
Yeah.
down to the final strike. I didn't pick my head up after I saw the base hit and rough night, but we're kind of rebounding. We'll talk about the NL. And as Jason mentioned, Tuesday night probably will come out Wednesday on my channel. We'll have the recapping the ALDS for you guys. But let's get right into it. Let's talk a little bit about the Dodgers postseason. In your eyes, is this the worst postseason ever? 111 wins, the best run differential in baseball since 1939. They had a 1-0 series lead, followed by 3 straight losses. Was this the worst postseason, most disappointing postseason ever?
I'd say so, probably at least from the Dodgers' perspective. I mean, their lineup is loaded. I think losing Walker Buehler probably hurt them a little bit for Tommy John. But they were loaded in every other area. And again, just like the Mets, they were the early season, mid-season, and late season World Series favorites. They make the moves that they need to make, but this is the unpredictability of baseball, right? Just like we mentioned a few minutes ago, the Braves last year went by 80 something, 88 wins or something like that, and they ran the table on everybody. So it could be a point of the hottest team, and right now it's the Phillies and the Padres in the National League, kind of running through some of these big teams. So the most deep team and the most talented on paper doesn't always mean the winning team. So, and this is a prime example. This is what makes baseball so much fun and so interesting, in my opinion. So, what's your take?
Yeah, I think starting pitching is the biggest problem. When it comes to October, I'll continue to say you have to have starting pitching when it comes to October. I don't understand how people are saying fire Dave Roberts. He's the best manager in baseball right now. You can mark my words saying that. He's a terrific manager. He's led this team so many places. He wasn't given a good product. He wasn't given a good bullpen. He wasn't given a good starting rotation for the postseason to put on the field. It's not like he made any questionable decisions. He just had he had a great year. He led them to 111 wins. He led them to a World Series. There's not a chance he's getting fired in my eyes.
Fired? Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I don't think he's going to get fired, okay? Just like I don't think Buck Showalter is going to get fired, right? And applying the same logic, which is why I don't think Aaron Boone's going to get fired. The Yankees were projected to be the 4th place team in the AL East this year. They exceeded expectations in multiple different ways, right? So, and I talked about this earlier. The first place, they won the division. They were expected to be 4th place, right? And they won 99 games with 16 guys on the IL. Dodgers, on the same token, had not that many guys on the IL, but they had important guys on the IL. They still ran 111 wins, right? The Mets, I think, were at 101 or something like that, with a very talented roster all together. But I don't see any of these guys getting fired. I mean, they're expected to be at the top of the Dodgers, right? Just like the Mets are, and the Dodgers specifically. But at the same time, this tells you how hard it is to get to the World Series every year, no matter how deep your team is. And again, this is what makes baseball so much fun. Even if you're a fan of this team, you know how hard it is to get to the World Series.
Yeah.
And it's a combination of staying healthy, playing well, getting lucky. And how often do teams do that? Are running into all these things at the same time, right? The Phillies and Padres seem to be the two teams that are doing it right now. So am I not surprised that the Dodgers are out? No. But would I fire Dave Roberts? No. Nor would I fire Buck Showalter either.
Definitely no. No shots fired at Dave Roberts. Buck Showalter, he's getting used to the new team. Aaron Boone, I'm holding back my punches a little because I don't want to unload anything until I see what the end result of the team is. I definitely can say if the Yankees do make a sick comeback and come back, we're gonna have a lit episode on Tuesday night. That's all I'm gonna say. But what happened to the Atlanta Braves? Because it just seems like they were just under the radar, and then they just just out of nowhere they just lost.
They ran into the hotter team that shut down, that hit their pitchers and shut down their hitters. And this is this is a prime example of the defending World Series champs not getting that far because they ran into a hotter team in the Phillies. And the Phillies are red hot. Bryce Harper, Nick, everybody. Castellanos, JT Realmuto with an inside the park home run yesterday. Their pitchers are giving them innings. Their bullpen's giving them innings. And you have an offense like that with Kyle Schwarber and Harper and all these other guys. It's really, really, really hard to beat. And right now, in my opinion, they're the hottest team in baseball. So I'm not surprised at all. They deserve to be where they're at. So, and again, I'm not saying that the Braves stunk. They just got beat by a better team.
Harder than the Astros? Hard to be harder than the Astros.
I hope it's at this point. If the Yankees don't make it, I hope it's the Phillies Astros World Series. I'm not handing them the World Championship just yet. The Astros, as much as other people do, I am not. So, and again, this is where I differ from people, right? They're playing great. You get an 18-inning win yesterday against the Mariners, but the Mariners are not yet there either. So if the Indians win, they're going to have. Do you think they're going to have a field day with the Indians? They're not going to sweep the Indians. Just like they're not going to sweep the Yankees. It's not going to happen. Okay, it's the NLCS two best teams, one way or the other.
Yeah.
So that's just why I don't guarantee somebody's winning this. I guarantee somebody's losing that. So they're the hottest team in the American League, yes, but I think the Phillies are still hotter.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my take.
Respect it. So while we're talking about the Phillies, why not? Let's talk a little bit about everything. Just seems like it's all clicking on all cylinders. I have a bunch of stuff I'm going to point out, and then I'll turn to you. I have a bunch of notes. For starters, Brad Hand stepping up in a big way. He's that guy, veteran. He stepped up tremendously. Bryce Harper, as always. The main thing is they score early. They get on the board early. That's something that a lot of teams in baseball have had trouble doing, and that's why they're hanging on into close games. And there's one play I want to spotlight. These underrated players don't get a lot of credit. I'm going to give Sir Anthony Dominguez. He is kind of their setup guy who's serving a multi-inning role. He combined for 3 2/3 innings, 1 hit, and 8 strikeouts in the postseason. That's some ridiculous numbers. And if you have guys like that going, it's a hard team to beat.
Yes, it is. And he struck out the side last night in the 9th inning to put them over the top. I also want to give props to Gene Segura for timely hitting. Then against the St. Louis Cardinals, timely hitting is the same as being a superstar like Bryce Harper. So, and this is the name of the game right now, right? Timely hitting. Look what the Indians are doing. Timely hitting. They're, a lot of folks say that they're not a power hitting team. They don't need to be. They keep winning games with base hits, walks, don't strike out. The same thing that the Phillies are doing with the addition of home runs, obviously, and the Padres with the addition of home runs. But you have guys like Joe Musgrove getting it done. Like their pitchers getting it done, and they're just out pitching, outfielding, and out hitting their opponents as the Phillies are doing as well. So that's the way I see it.
Archer, you're making this too easy for me to tie into the next topic. So I appreciate that. So we can get right into the Padres because you're just nodding all the strings together for me. I don't have to do that. So Padres, they're getting hot at the right time also. They did a great job rebounding after a game loss to a really tough Dodgers team. And they threw out a really good pitch out in Mike Clevenger. They lost that game, and they did a nice job rebounding the next night and came out and won 3 straight games. They were always in the game when the Dodgers gave them trouble. Last night, they came back 5-run rally, Manny Machado, and it looks like Josh Hader's back, which is definitely something really intriguing to see for San Diego Padres.
Josh Hader and Juan Soto had terrible starts to their trade to the Padres. Terrible. And they've turned it around. Soto's not all the way there yet, but Hader is night and day difference. He is just dominating people right now, and he's the closer that they needed him to be, right? And Soto's got 2 or 3 more years there, so he's going to be fine. Hader's got another year there too, so There with Joe Musgrove, Manny, you got Trent
John.
Grisham was out of nowhere being the superstar. So, but this is what happens again. You get players that you don't expect to be playing great that play great. And that's why teams that are so deep like this are in a position to have those types of experiences, have those types of players make the difference. So, I mean, they're a super deep team, and this is with the exception of Fernando Tatis, who's not here. They're doing this without Tatis. And to me, that makes it more impressive. So you ran through the Mets pretty easily. You ran through the Dodgers now. So, like, this is going to be, I mean, it's like you think of a team running into the freight train. Both of these teams are the freight trains, and they're running into each other. So this is going to be a really, really fun series.
All right, so before we get into our NLCS kind of togethered preview, which is going to be a lot of fun here, very controversial, which I'm really excited to get into, we got to take care of some housekeeping. Turning to podcast on Twitter, 161 River Ave. Make sure to subscribe. Backstage Baseball. Next episode should be Wednesday, and that's going to be a really good episode. Whether the Yankees move on or not, there's going to be a lot of controversial topics that we have to touch on, that we got to discuss. Whether any team, they're going to be facing the Astros, whether it's the Guardians or the Yankees, it's going to be a very fun episode. Probably kind of the same format as this one. Just we'll get into that as on probably Wednesday. So definitely look out for that. If you want to know where that's going to be, probably on my channel. But in case you want to know any details, any promos, definitely go to Turning to Podcast on Twitter. We'll keep you up to date over there. So let's talk right now about the NLCS preview. The better team and predictions. I want to start off. So, Jason, we're going to go. I have 4 topics right here. Better lineup, better defense, better starting pitching, and the better bullpen. And then overall, who you think is going to win the series. So we're going to go one by one. Who do you have as the better lineup?
Better lineup, Philly.
I have that too. Better defense.
Deeper lineup, San Diego. Better lineup, Philly.
So deeper lineup because you think that. Who do you think expands lineup for San Diego?
I think Philly's lineup is all the more better. It's going to be more productive. The deeper all throughout is San Diego, but Philly, I think, is going to make the bigger noise with the bats.
Yeah, I think I kind of judge off postseason. If I was judging off a regular season, I'm easily going San Diego. But the postseason, Philly's bats have just been erupting. The better defense.
The defense, I'll probably give the edge to San Diego, but not by much. Not by much. Philly's been doing a job too. I mean, they have a brilliant defensive infield, and they're getting it done in the outfield too. Grisham's making plays, and all across the board. But I give San Diego the slight edge over Philly.
Yeah, I'm on the same page with that on you. Better starting pitching. I have a feeling we're going to disagree on this one.
Better starting pitching. Right now, I'm going with San Diego.
Of course, same on that one.
Yeah, I mean, Musgrove. I mean, I like Nola. I like Wheeler. I like Syndergaard. But you have Musgrove is just money, right? You got Snell. You got Darvish. They're just deeper and a little bit more high end, I think, at this point. So, and look who they mowed through. They mowed through the Mets. They mowed through the Dodgers. So, got to give them the edge.
Yeah, better bullpen.
Overall depth, I'm going to give it to Philly, but the higher end guy, Josh Hader, I got to give to San Diego. He's the equalizer right now, Josh Hader. Now that he's actually Josh Hader, I have to give the edge to the Padres.
I don't know. I really, really, really like this this Philly bullpen. I was looking.
Eflin, Sir Anthony, fantastic guys.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to take a turn on that one in the Phillies, and now we have it tied at 2. I Philly for the better lineup and bullpen, and defense and starting pitching is San Diego. Who do you have going all the way in this one?
I have Phillies going in 7.
Phillies in 7. Interesting. So I have Phillies, but the more I think about it, the more I'm really liking the Padres because I have to stick to my word with the better starting pitching and the better defense. That's what wins World Series. So I'm actually going to change my pick here. Cross out Philly, and I'm going San Diego because starting pitching wins October. Defense wins October. We saw it with the Yankees. Crucial plays aren't getting made. And that's a problem. Like Oswaldo Cabrera, he had a missed timely dive that could have costed us. I wouldn't say it costed us, but there was definitely a better shot that we would have got out of it if there was a more experienced left fielder in there. And that's why defense really helps you in October. So I have San Diego. Jason has Philly. What do you guys have? Let us know in the comments.
How many games do you have the Padres in?
Padres? I don't know. I have to go 7 games, but I think how can you not? It's going to be it's going to be a crazy series. It's going to be really cool. And especially I don't even want to jump to any conclusions here, but like underdog World Series, like if we get like Cleveland, Philly, it should be so cool.
Yeah.
Like I might have to drive to Philly to go see a game there.
I mean, look, and this is why we do these types of podcasts, gang, because we're not always going to agree on stuff, right? And this one makes content better. This is the same thing how we run our channels as well. We don't need people to agree with us all the time. We want, a better discussion. We want people's different perspectives. As long as people are cool with each other, this is what makes the channels better, right? That's why we do this stuff. We're not always going to agree on stuff. And I am not here to listen to Hillel agree with me. He's not here to listen to me agree with him. So the different perspectives makes these videos and makes the content better. So we thank you all for your feedback, but that's kind of why we're doing it. And again, we're differing on stuff. So it's good. It's good. Now it makes for more exciting baseball playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. Like me and Jason were talking before this episode. We're like a little like behind the scenes. We're like, let's try to figure out a better way to make some interesting content. We're like disagreeing more, but we both agree that we're gonna do it respectfully. We're gonna make sure that everyone's doing it respectfully. And if you're in the comments, be respectful. We don't care if you're disagreeing with us as long as you're respectful. Give us your opinions. Just come on, like stay a little cool.
Yeah, that's all we ask, man. And I, at least with me, the folks that know me know that I'm not afraid to call out disrespectful people, and I will not stop doing that. But again, we can disagree on things all the time. As long as we stay respectful of each other and the people that are also commenting, it's only going to get better, gang. So we thank you for that. We thank you for that.
Yeah, definitely. So, I asked one of my friends actually texted me today. He wanted to be on his episode, so I'm like, fine. So we're like, my friend, he wanted to know where's Aaron Judge going. So I'll propose a question to you. Where do you have him going?
Well, I have him going somewhere, but I'm not going to announce it here. I have my MLB free agent predictions video coming out soon. I want to wait until that, but I think people will be surprised.
No, all right, fine. I respect that. I respect that. So we'll also keep mine. If you're keeping yours confidential, I'll keep mine confidential as well.
All good. All good.
I want to touch on schedule update here. We'll have probably a video for you Wednesday previewing the ALCS, recapping ALDS. And then we'll bonus content coming out at you guys if you want to see clips, whatever. Me and Jason's opinions will be on the Turning 2 podcast on Twitter. Finally, the NLDS MVP, the moment you have all been waiting for. I think me and Jason are on the same page on this. I think we're both going Bryce Harper here. Am I right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, he's right now one of the hottest players in baseball. Yeah. And he's propelled that Phillies team in so many different ways. And even with an injured wrist or hand or whatever it is, he's still doing it and getting it done. So a lot of respect. I would have loved to have seen him in pinstripes, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But that's okay. I enjoy watching him in the Phillies, especially that's my wife's team. So I watch a lot of Phillies baseball too.
So Bryce Harper, not final stats, his stats from the wild card game. Postseason cumulative, 435 batting average, 10 for 23. That's some ridiculous numbers if you don't know baseball. 480 on base percentage, a 1.4 OPS, 3 home runs, and 6 RBIs. Some ridiculous stats from our NLDS MVP over here. If you would like to know our NLDS MVP, stay tuned for Wednesday. Do be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to turn over to Jason to close everything out.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us, and let us know what you think. Always give us your feedback if you have any in the comments. We welcome feedback. We answer the feedback. So, and again, your opinions and views make the channels better. So we thank you for that. And again, we'll be previewing once the ALCS and NLCS are over, we'll recap those and we'll preview the World Series. Once the World Series is over, we'll preview that too. Give us your predictions as well. We'd love to know that. Want to see how they line up with everybody else's and ours. So again, thanks so much for coming on. We look forward to hearing from you all and enjoy some great baseball. Have a great week, and we'll see you all next time.
Peace. Go Yankees.